the beginning of Vaisvav. The Nakuda he's speaking about is, the point is, that the Eirin Sof is the Maila Adin Ketz, but the emphasis he's discussing here is Lamat Mat Adin Tachlis, and Rabbi identified in detail the very the very lowest levels, Sha'el, Gehenim, and even the abuse of Torah. So even there, Gam Shom is Amshachas Ha'erin Sof. So how could that be? How could that be that the Eirin Sof? Eir is revelation, and we're saying that the revelation is present in the places of the great concealment. It's a contradiction in terms. What does it mean? So this is what he is about to explain, and the Rabbi is about to elaborate upon. So what does the Frierdiker Rebbe say? For Kol Zeh and all of this, what's all of this? That the Eirin Sof is Nimshach even in Makim HaKlippos and even lower, because Klippos are not really Oivre Ritzoinoi. They don't transgress God's will. So, but a person can. So even there, the Eirin Sof is there. How's that? The Fi Sha'iro Ein Sof Be'etzem. So they're just going to explain what that means. It's not just Ein Sof, but Ein Sof Be'etzem. So something is essentially something, then it's not subject to change. Al-Kain, Ein Sof, Gam Ken Yishtash to say, let's just read the words of the Frierdiker Rebbe and then the Rebbe says, therefore there is no end to its spreading, as it were, to its reach. All the way down. This will all be addressed whatever level the Ein Sof is found. So be spireless, it remains unaffected and unchanged. Not to be confused with uncaring. We'll see later. Unaffected and unchanged, we normally associate with therefore indifference. It's not what he means. We'll see more about that, God willing, later at the end of the Maamorim. But so far he's saying that the Ein Sof is Nimshach Lamata, unchanged because it's Ein Sof Be'etzem, notwithstanding that it's present and is Mahav and Machaya, everything, even the lowest levels of Klip. The Inakadimian Neshama Ba'guf, it's unlike the Neshama and the Guf. The Neshama is indeed affected by what happens to the body. Mikra means what occurs, what happens, the experiences. A person is affected, a person's persona is affected by his body. A person is sick, the Neshama is not, the Nefesh isn't sick. The body is, but he can't concentrate, he can't learn, whatever, he has limitations. But unlike the Nefesh, the Neshama, in the Guf, the Eiraliki, which is enlivens and creates all of existence, is unaffected, and there where there could be a change, again we noted the interesting choice of words here, leaving it kind of vaguely open. It could be. Is there or isn't there? So he said, he's hinting to, without repeating the whole beard, that Oir and Koyach are not two separate levels, but two dimensions of the Oir, without repeating that again. Then he writes, so that which being invested in creation does affect the divine energy Not oid, but a low level. Low level, that the term for that would be koyach. And where is that? You do it, the chayish of bechinas koyach is where kelim de biyah. That's where it starts in biyah. Not just the oid of biyah, but the kelim of biyah. So there, the divine energy. Let's not use any term, not oid, not koyach, just energy. Invested in kelim de biyah will be described now not as the divine light, but the divine koyach. Why? Because the kelim biyah had in bechinas mitzius. Kelim biyah already a mitzius, and therefore the chayis that is invested there in kelim the biyah, that defined biyah, is also a kind of mitzius, has an identity, as it were, not alikus be'etzem, and therefore subject to change. It's godly, but subject to change and effect. We'll see the Rabbi's elaboration a little bit. Like he says in Siman Chof, that Eishes Hayesh is where Kelim the Biyah. It's still part of Alikus, it's the Shtalshalis. But it's already now such a Kabbalah that the Oid there, the Chayis there is affected. Now, but wait a second. The whole point is that the Oid in Sof is Nimshach Lamata Mata Adin Tachlis. Okay, so we'll see. Therefore, there can be a change. So now we're going to explain this. It's not an easy us, the one that's coming. If you thought the Fitklevis us was difficult, this is much more difficult. And Beis Hashem will try and explain it. The matter is as follows. Now, what threw me and a lot of people is that they add in brackets V'shita Shniya, which leads the reader to believe that whatever's coming now is all in the context of the second Shita, which is the Shita of the Mareches, as opposed to the Pardes and the Rekanti. The Rebbe didn't say this in the Maamorim. Didn't say it. They just put it in as an address, but it's misleading. It's misleading because, the reader will assume that this whole bid is only according to the second shitta. What about the first shitta? What about the third shitta? The emphasis has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with what? With the differences in the shitta, which is why I will not repeat them. It's just there that Tzemach Tzedek deals with this whole general question, the general question of how plurality emerges from absolute oneness. So there he speaks about the three shittas and the sub-shittas within the shittas. And there he says, so it's actually Geya to the shitta shni as opposed to the Rishayna or the third shitta. I did mention the other day because I thought that it wasn't a Geya, but upon reflection and reading the Maamorim again, and then I heard Sean Beck Cohen told me, listen to the Maamorim, and the Rebbe doesn't even say Shitta Shniya. So it's clear that that's not negate to the second Shitta particularly. Therefore, let's just continue. So he says that Tzemach Tzedek, Shafil B'Kelim Datzilis. What do we want to understand? What are we grappling here with? We're grappling here with this fundamental question that how is it that the Eid itself is Nimshach Lamata Mata and it doesn't change? Yet there is a change. This koyach, so the koyach level, so the Eid itself is present there as well. So the koyach level, there's his spilus, but how could there not be at the Oib, which is Nimshach Lamata? It's one revelation of God. It's one God. What's going on? What does all this mean? It's completely confusing. Not confusing, but not understood. So let's see how that is going to help us here. So says the Tzemach Tzedek, Shafilu Bekelim Datzilus, the Avshnikar Mishim Kelim, even though they're called Kelim as opposed to the Oir, Leishayach Behem Iyin Shal Shinu. Never mind the Oir of Atzilus, but the Kelim of Atzilus is not Shaykh and Yishinu. Change. What that means, in other words, also is that the Kelim of Atzilus did not change God. The Oir for sure not. The Oir is Megala, the Pshitas, the wonders of the Eibishter. But even the Kelim, notwithstanding that there's 10 different Kelim, them is a notion and no change. So how is that so? What's the Pshat? We're going to learn now, friend, this is classic, Kabbalah Chassidus. Got to get the levels, the geographies right, and then trying to understand. Mavayed al Zeh, explain it to Tzemach Tzedek. What does it mean that there's no shayach, that there's no shinui in the kelim? I just said that it means that the kelim don't represent a change in godliness, but the simple meaning is that the kelim themselves, since they're gvul, the descriptive, every gvul is affected. Gvul is by nature subject to being affected and changing on some level or another. So he's saying no, that the kelim of Atzilus Habem is blikvul. What does all this mean? And don't compromise the blikvulness and the oneness of Hashem, even though they're descriptive and they're 10 and they're kelim. So Mavai said that's Tzemach Tzedek. Al Yisay Birad Morem Tzoy, based on the Maim of the Mittler Rebbe. The Maim of Azay Parshas Vayetze, based on a statement of the Zoya Parshas Vayetze. Shabbos Baruch Hamer. The Eibusha told David HaMelech, which is in response to David HaMelech's request, Bavur David Abdecha, Al Toshi Pnei Meshichacha. Don't simply do not send me away unanswered. That's a simple pshat. So the Zohar says, Hashem's response to David's request is, I'm so much with you that afilu b'monin dili lo yishtamish, I will not use my vessels, el b'monin dilach, your vessels. End of quote. What on earth is the Zohar saying? Says the Mittler Rebbe. The monin mean beginnes hakelim. Monin means kelim. Pirish monin dilihem. Pirish monin dilihem. Akelim datzilis. My vessels, says the Eibishter, kelim datzilis. Shenikroyim monin dili. They're called mine. Mishum de'iyu v'chayo v'gam v'yachad. In Atzilis, he is one with the oil and the kelim. Monin dilach, your kelim. That's kelim the biyah. Mamchach lebayisham. We haven't answered our question yet. Let's keep on going. The Mikveh goes on to explain. Similarly, we find this in the mind of the Alter Rebbe, but Bichel, B'Ksavyat Krishad Monemitzoy, a mind of the Alter Rebbe written by the Mittler Rebbe in Agoyes Tzemach Tzedek, which there has been quoting a whole year, as follows. He says, Shin HaKeli B'chinas Gvul V'Tzimtzum. HaKeli, on the one hand, is Gvul and Tzimtzum, L'Hagvul L'Tzamtim Mitzayir. To limit the light, that's the whole point of it. The light, the oil is Gvul, but the Keli is Gvul. We cannot say in Atzilus that the Keli's mamish limits the oil. Why? Atzilus is a likus. We can't say the Kelim are Gvul. The Chas v'Shalom le'mekein b'likus. They're not Gvul, but they have a description. Chachma, Bina, Das, and different descriptions. So what does it mean they're not Gvul? explanation. In order to give rise to something else that is limited, Atzilus is blikvul, but Atzilus has to produce gvul. As a nifal, it's affected on the klolas inyan. That's the spirit of Atzilus. It's through the 10 spirits of Atzilus in general, but Proteus, Kelim Atzilus. They're called vessels. Aval, Hakelim Atzilus Atzmein Bligvul. We still, friends, have not got one iota of explanation, just restating the same thing in different words. It's coming now in the dogma. But he's stating, he made the statement, the Kelim of Atzilus themselves are Bligvul, but they are necessary to produce Gvul. So what's the dogma? I'm giving you a heads up that after he finishes with the dogma, he dismisses it, and you'll see what his answer is going to be. But what are we looking to explain? We're looking to explain how Blikvul produces Gvul. So Adam Atachten, sure, Adam Be'elyan is similar to above. So let's look at this moshel. Kashak Asher, Ukeichak Sivish Beyad Nimshach. Like the Ischalka says, it's Bois Lichte Beisachas. The person has the power to write, can write endless letters. And what does he do? He produces what? One letter. So it seems the pshat is like this, friends. That one letter is the keli. The kayach haksiva, maybe we could say, that the keli I'm going to say it the way I think. Maybe we'll change our minds. I'm sorry, bear with me. So the marshal is, this is how I learned it in the plane. Maybe I'm just going to say, this is, okay, let's go with this. So what the marshal is like this. The one letter is the keli. What keli? Chachma bina das. The koyach haksiva, that's the oir datzilus. So the oir of Atzilus can produce what? Endless kelim. Like a person can write endless words. Even while he's writing one word, it doesn't detract from the fact that he could write endless words. So this one word, chachma, bina, das, etc., this hagabala, this keli, in Atzilus, is the handwriting. So the hand can write endless. It wrote one letter, one word, chachma, bina, das. So the chachma, bina, das, the way it is in Atzilus, is still blikvul because it's simply the expression of the ability to write endless letters. What this was written, but not lost on this one word on chachma is it could express endless kelim. So Atzilus is saying, so the Eibush expressed himself this way. He could express himself endless ways. And that's not lost there. So the this way is not limited. Because the this way doesn't say there can't be another way. It's inside the word, the Maamorim. Shaker. But dogma is bad matachten shakasher kechak sibish bad nimshach adi ischalka says boys dichte veisachas. When a person kechak siva produce endless words. So now when it comes through the fingers to write one letter, hare kechak siva gufa, but this power to write in a gam b'shah shekosef veisachas. Even when he writes one letter, he can write many other riboyes to many letters. Ella shemagbel What's he doing? Right now, what he's writing with ink on the parchment, so what's the kvetch here? What's being conveyed? What's being conveyed again is you're watching the person write one letter. So he's saying two things at the same time, simultaneously. Is it one letter? Yeah, gvul. Could he write endless letters? Yeah. You see that in the one letter. So therefore, the gvul, one letter, does not eclipse the koyach haksiva bli gvul. That's the mosh, even though it's manifested in what? In one particular letter. Hence, the kalim of Atzilus, that's the one letter, one word, are reflective of the oida, the pshitas of the oid, which in the mashal is the koyach haksiva, the ability to write all endless letters virtually. Is that somewhat clear? Need some feedback. Let's go further. Umavayir, and the Mitler Rebbe continues. Is the Mitler Rebbe. It's a Masar according to the Mitler Rebbe. Umavayir. This mashal, it's not distant and it's plausible. It's unusual language, friends, because the language, sometimes Chassidus uses the language of Chakira. It's like the language of Chakira, of philosophy. But Chassidus is Yechida, and it employs all kinds of forms of language. This is more Chakira kind of language. So that's what you see what he's saying. It's not a stretch, literally, to say, that's true of Atzilus. I'm not quite sure of the brackets here again, but even though, as we posited earlier, we're giving a mashal of gvul of one letter, even though, how could you say Atzilus gvul? And how could you say even that Atzilus can produce gvul? But it's not a stretch to say that this is a good mashal, and this is the case. Which is to say that the koyach hagvul of Atzilus is one with Atzilus, that the one letter does not eclipse the endless inability to write endless letters, and therefore it's one and inseparable. So the Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek is saying that Mikol Shkein, this is a plausible thing to say, using the Rambam as a Kol Shkein. If the Rambam can say what he said, we can certainly say we're saying about Atzilus. What's that? The Kol Shkein as a Rambam, he says he, not Atzilus, the Eibishter, the Creator. He is Chacham as well. He's the knower, he is that which is known. He is the knowledge itself. End of quote. Famous Rambam. If Rambam can say that he is one with his Yediyah, with his Chachma, we can certainly say about Esses of Atzilus that the Kalim are one with the Oir. That seems to be the pshat, friends. If you have a better pshat, let me know. But the
one little question on your pshat, on the way you're learning it.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that the koyach haksiva is the oir and the ksiva is the kalim? Why are you defining the? I'm asking a question. Why are you defining oir as the koyach? Why can't you say that atzmos, the etzem, is the koyach? Why are you labeling koyach by oir?
Because he's trying to explain the whole subject here is to explain the kelim of Atzilus, the Gabi the Oir. That's the whole subject here.
So why are you saying that the Oir is Mahava the Keli? Why can't you say the Oir is just coming into the Keli, but the Keli is being created by something higher than her, by Etzem.
Well, he's kind of going to say that soon. We're not saying that now.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep on going. He's kind of going to say that in a second. Because he has a big kasha. So the way he said now, it's clear that's what he's saying over here. This is all, that's the Gimel shittest. Just, it is nagir to know that this quote from Tzemach Tzedek is the subject of the Gimel shittest, because that subject there is the Oir and Kelim of Atzilus. What exactly is the relationship? The Oir is Mitzuyir. Where does the Tziyah come from? Is from the Oir. What's the role of the Keli? What's the role of the Oir? That's the subject of the Gimel shittest. And now the Rebbe asks, what does it mean to this Hakabbalah? The Eibush has his kelim. To bishlim ba'adam, a person fundamentally is limited. And even though the etzem nefesh is higher than any particular expression, the power of writing is not just infinite. It's a power of writing. And therefore there can be a Kabbalah. To begin with, it's a mukbal. The Koich HaKsiva to begin with is a mukbal to get thing. So the Koich HaKsiva is further limited through the hands and the fingers. But about Atzilus, ain't like Guf like Musaguf. Maybe there's no body and no form. So what's the shaila here? By a person, that's a nefesh taka is boundless. But the koyach haksiva lends itself to being defined. Why? Because to begin with, it's a defined expression of the nefesh, koyach haksiva. Doesn't say this, doesn't mention this part here, but that seems to be the word. But by the Eibush, there's no Kabbalah period. So to get down to the question which he's addressing, how does Achdus Apshuta produce Gvul? The answer is Kel Yachel. That's it. Achabiyah Bezeh, Ki Hu Yisbarach Kel Yachel. Take. Bli Gvul itself can't produce Gvul. But Eibush is beyond Bli Gvul. He's Kel Yachel. Mitzad Zeh Yesh Begam Koyach HaGvul. And therefore he has also the ability to express himself in finite ways, just like he chose to express himself in Bli Gvul. And he says in Eisteh Zayin, if you would say that he is only infinite, he cannot express himself in Gvul, you detract from his perfection. So the simple answer is Atzmos Kel Yachel. The Eibush can do anything, and therefore can manifest himself even in Gvul. V'lachin, therefore, Yachel Lifoil, in Kabbalah, he can affect Gvul, Gam L'lo Yakelim Shemechutz L'Atzilus. I struggled with this then, I thought I understood it. Anybody? Yachel Lifoil, in Kabbalah, Gam L'lo Yakelim. Pashit, the Kelim Mechutz L'Atzilus, for sure there's Hakabbalah there, because they're essentially they're a creation. He's saying the Eibush can do that too, because he's called Yachel. Doesn't have to make a creation that produces Gvul, but that begs the question, how did he make it find that creation? That's open-ended. That's not going to answer that little objection. But that's what he's saying, that he can make Inyan HaKabbalah even without resorting to Biyah, which is real hardcore Gvul. Okay, it's not 100% clear. I think this is the kavana. Let's go further.
Just a question on the taich there. The loya kelim shemichutz letzilus. That means within Atzilus, just so I'm understanding.
Even without the kelim outside Atzilus, that's biyah.
They say within Atzilus.
What? He can make gvul without resorting to the kelim of chutz Atzilus. Come directly from him, because yesh lekerch b'gvul. The kelim chutz Atzilus, that's biyah. He says in the Geras HaKodesh, that's mitzias and yeshes. So for sure, gvul is produced by them going down the chain of command. That's avada. The chiddush he's saying now is that the gvul can start from Eibush himself. Why? Because he's kol yochel. What I asked as I was saying this is, what do you mean? This the whole question is, no. Yeah, okay. The question is not God can create gvul. That's not a question. The question is not his creating gvul. The question is him being revealed as gvul. Atzilus is him. So the course. So how is he revealed as gvul? The answer is kol yochel. And that's what he's saying. He can express himself as gvul even without. So not so clear. Because Bria is a Bria, it's still not him. I call upon him. I'm just going to go further. This is not Muga, number one. Okay, we'll see what others have to say about this. I don't know, but the fact is, I've been waiting for someone to come out with a beer on this Maimon. No one has yet. So, I mean, this guy's giving shiur. I want a printed beer. I've yet to see it. If somebody finds it, please send it to me. Okay, let's not get stuck. Go further. What we need to know is this. This etzem ha'er means that the Eibush is kol yochel, and kol yochel, he can express himself in gvul, and therefore the kelim of Atzilus are at once a likus and the same time gvul. That's the point. Marash explains the creation of evil, which is cause of a how do you create evil? But Atzilus, it says no evil could touch you. So if no evil could touch you, so how is evil created? Answer: the Kivan is Baruch Moishe Ein Sof, since the Eibush, even though he's infinite, Yesh Be'Gam Kim Keichat HaKeich LeLashpi B'Tchenas Gvul. So there it's all a likus. Gvul, Hashem's decision to express himself in a finite, descriptive way. But that came once that happened, then it can descend and create actual ra. And the one and the same thing. What's the ultimate? What's the source of ra? And what's the medid of akbala v'tzimtzum? The limitation. That's because it's kol yoch. However, the way the kelim, the gvul is in Atzilus, that's purely likus. Makol zeh move, and it concludes. Shafilu b'kelim d'Atzilus leishach shinavi spilus sharei monin deli. They're my kelim. Even though they're kelim, but they're expression of me, and therefore they are in essence in boundless. But they give rise to that outside of Atzilus there should be mamish shal tzimtzum and all the way down the yin of ra. But the way it is in Atzilus, it's below shinoi. He's going to touch this in Avodah. I'm going to talk about tzaddikim. It's going to get easier. We'll get some asbara, God willing, going further. You want to hear the story? You want to go down?
Say the story quickly.
But we're in the middle of a story, if you recall. We're in the middle of one. So we should drop it. We're on the Alter Rebbe's Chassidim Mashbiya Rabbi, and then Gemados Niskarev, Pelish Chassidus. Okay, we'll leave it. Okay, friends, Beis Hashem tomorrow.